Woods made sure no one could ever say, "just Tiger's kid" again. Coming into the tournament ranked 604th, Charlie wasn't even listed on the radar of most junior golf analysts. He wasn't the favorite, he wasn't the headline, he was just another name on the tee sheet. 3 days later, his name was the only one anyone was still talking about, because what he did in that tournament didn't whisper potential, it screamed proof. The numbers alone were staggering, a 15 under par total, including a closing round 66 that featured 8 birdies. But it wasn't the scorecard that stunned the golf world, it was who he beat and how he beat them. The field included 4 of the top 5 junior golfers in the country, including Miles Russell, the undisputed number 1. Charlie didn't edge him out, he didn't survive the pressure, he crushed the field, finishing 3 strokes ahead in one of the most competitive junior events of the year. It wasn't a fluke, it wasn't magic, it was a methodical dismantling. ESPN and Golf Digest quickly picked up the story, but even their headlines couldn't fully capture the shift, because this wasn't just a breakout performance, it was a reintroduction. For the first time, fans, coaches, and even fellow players began to refer to him not as Tiger's son, but as a serious standalone title contender. And for the top juniors who had grown used to hearing the name Woods with nostalgia, it suddenly became a real-time threat. The legacy had returned, but this time it had its own swing, its own stride, its own story. There's a difference between playing well and playing with presence. Charlie had both. He didn't ride momentum, he created it. He didn't hope for mistakes, he forced them. Every hole was a statement, every birdie was a message. He was no longer waiting for his name to be called, he was taking it. And as the dust settled at Streamsong, one thing was clear. Junior golf had a new reality, and his name was Charlie Woods. This wasn't the coach, this was the father. He didn't arrive with fanfare. There was no press conference, no entourage, just a man in a cart, sunglasses on, sitting quietly near the ropes at Balliniles Country Club. But make no mistake, when Tiger Woods showed up to the Florida Amateur Championship, the energy shifted. Fans whispered, cameras crept closer. But Tiger wasn't there for the spotlight. He was there for something more personal, for something even more powerful. He was there to watch his son stand alone, and he couldn't look away. Observers noted something unusual about Tiger's body language that weekend. He wasn't analyzing swings or making calls from a practice green. He wasn't scribbling notes or offering advice. He sat still, leaned forward slightly, elbows on his knees. Every shot Charlie took, Tiger followed, not with a coach's critical eye, but with a father's quiet reverence, because what he was seeing wasn't technical, it was transformational. According to Golf Monthly, Tiger's appearance was completely unexpected. He hadn't been seen publicly in weeks, still recovering from a torn Achilles that had kept him off the course. And yet, here he was, not limping down fairways, but showing up when it mattered most. His presence wasn't promotional, it was paternal. As Sportskeeda put it, Tiger watched with pride, awe, and emotion. And when the cameras caught that rare smile, you didn't see a champion. You saw a dad. Those who were close enough swore they saw him wipe his eyes. Maybe it was sweat, maybe it was sun, or maybe it was something else. When asked by a reporter after the round what he thought of Charlie's performance, Tiger kept it simple. Proud doesn't even begin to cover it. There were no long quotes, no public speeches. He let the moment speak for itself, and maybe that silence said more than any press statement ever could. This wasn't Tiger Woods scouting future greatness. This was Tiger Woods watching his own legacy unfold from the outside in. No swing thoughts, no media spin, just a front row seat to a performance that proved his son no longer needed to borrow his spotlight. Because that day, Tiger didn't cast the shadow. He stood in it, chase, and smiled. It wasn't just a golf shot, it was a generational exhale. It came late in the round, not with fireworks, not with drama, but with something quieter, something final. Charlie Woods stood over a slippery birdie putt on the 18th green. The Florida sun was falling low, casting long shadows over Balliniles. The gallery leaned in. Charlie didn't blink. He read the line, took one smooth stroke, and dropped the putt center cup. No fist pump, no roar, just a walk to the hole, a nod to the crowd, and a tap to the brim of his cap. But somewhere outside the ropes, something else was happening, because the person holding back the most emotion wasn't Charlie, it was Tiger. In that instant, a cameraman caught the shot that would go viral within hours. Tiger Woods, seated near the green, biting the inside of his cheek, visibly misty-eyed, his sunglasses were off, his head slightly tilted. This wasn't a man reacting to a score. It was a father watching a door open, one he'd once kicked down himself. You could feel it. This wasn't just pride, it was release, relief, maybe even redemption. Tiger's entire life has been built on control. Control of swing, of body, of media, of image. But in that moment, there was no control. There was only emotion. As the gallery clapped and Charlie walked off the green, Tiger stood. Just for a moment. One slow clap, one nod, a single tear rolled down his cheek. And he didn't wipe it. He let it fall, because that tear didn't come from watching his son succeed, it came from watching him become. It's impossible not to compare. Tiger Sir Woods at 16 was already being called the future of golf. Charlie's path has been quieter, more subtle, more scrutinized, but there, in that moment, under the same sky where Tiger once learned to win, Charlie showed something even rarer than talent. He showed poise born not from pressure, but from purpose. And Tiger knew exactly what that meant. He wasn't watching a kid copy his swing anymore. He was watching an echo turn into a voice, watching a last name become a legacy in its own right. And for a man who has lived more history than most can imagine, this moment, this single simple putt, may have meant more than all the majors combined. Because this time, Tiger didn't write the story. He just turned the page. This wasn't about going viral. This was about going pro. Someday soon. What Charlie Woods achieved at Streamsong wasn't a moment for Instagram. It wasn't a swing clip destined to make the rounds on sports pages or go viral with side-by-side comparisons to his dad. This wasn't about likes or legacy. It was something far less flashy and far more meaningful. This was about earning respect, quietly, clinically, authentically. And in the world of golf, that kind of respect is rarer than raw talent. When Charlie walked off the course with a 3-stroke lead and a 15-under total, there was no over-the-top celebration, no club twirl, no need. The job was done. And unlike the early days when he'd finish T25 or outside the spotlight and still make headlines just for showing up, this time the attention didn't precede him. It followed him, not because he was Tiger's son, but because he was that good. He didn't inherit this win, he earned every blade of it. Let's rewind for a second. Before Streamsong, Charlie had played in 5 AJGA events. His best result, a modest tie for 25th. Critics whispered, fans second-guessed. The pressure wasn't fair, but it was real. Is he just a name, they asked? Does he actually have it? These were the questions floating around locker rooms, forums, even inside the ropes. And then came this performance. Not a response, but a rebuttal. He didn't silence doubters with words. He drowned them in birdies. As writers pointed out, this field wasn't soft. It was stacked with top-tier juniors, national champions, collegiate commits, elite recruits. Charlie beat them all. Not with trick shots or hot streaks, but with discipline, focus, and terrifying calm under pressure. One stroke at a time, he rewrote the narrative. This wasn't a breakout. It was a blueprint. What makes this moment so different from everything that came before is how sustainable it feels. This wasn't a one-off lightning bolt, it was a controlled burn. It's steady, technical, intentional. That's the kind of golf that wins titles. That's the kind of mindset that turns promise into profession. Because Charlie Woods isn't just arriving, he's already unpacking. Every legacy starts with one swing, but it's what comes after that defines the era. Charlie Woods' victory at Streamsong didn't just shake up the AJGA rankings, it blew the doors open. With one win, he vaulted from ranked 604th to 14th, punching his ticket to the Junior Players Championship at TPC Sawgrass, one of the most elite junior events in the world. It's not just a tournament, it's a proving ground. The same course where Tiger won the Players Championship twice. And now, nearly 25 years later, his son will walk that same track with something more than pressure. He'll walk it with purpose. TPC Sawgrass isn't a highlight reel playground. It's a course that exposes weakness. Precision matters. Decision-making matters. Nerves matter. And what we've seen from Charlie in the past few months is that he doesn't just have the swing. He has the golf IQ to thrive in an environment like that. College recruiters know it. Coaches are already watching. Some might have written him off a year ago. Not anymore. Now they're wondering if they've already missed the chance to get him. And the question bubbling beneath all of this is simple. How far can this go? AJGA